Hey guys, this is Mike Raber from Tackle Shack here in northern Indiana. We've got a really exciting development for you. Something we've been waiting for a long time. It's been in the works for a long time, and we finally got our hands on one, and we've actually already installed it on a customer's boat. So fully certified Garmin install done by our main installer, Myron. This is your typical big water boat. You know, we're around Lake Michigan, we're around Lake Erie, so lots of guys are getting out in this style of boat. And the issue for these guys was that the Garmin Force, if you wanted a Garmin trolling motor, did not have a long enough shaft or did not work in a way that would work for those really rough water scenarios. You know, you look at a 57-inch Force and it's just not going to get much into the water on a boat this big. So that is what birthed this big guy, the Garmin Kraken. So this is their Tarova style trolling motor alternative that is still a Garmin, but lots of cool features here. Has a lot of the same features as a Force, to be dead honest with you, but just a lot larger. And they've solved some of those knick-knacky issues that came with that Tarova style motor. Number one being that you can actually mount an LVS 34 or any sort of live sonar onto this trolling motor without finding a separate pole. This trolling motor solves that age-old issue of what do I do with my live scope on these Tarova style motors. Normally, in a standard construction like in a Minn Kota, you know, you have to find a way to run this cable right here up through here. And the issue becomes that when this thing deploys, it slides through, you cut your wires, you cost yourself thousands of dollars. But Garmin has fixed that by developing this trolling motor that actually runs the cable in through this grommet right here. And then it runs up the shaft of the trolling motor, actually within the shaft, so that it's not going to hit, you know, when it stows and deploys. And that is honestly one of the coolest features and my favorite feature of the new Garmin Kraken. So many features of this Garmin Kraken are the same as the Force. And that's going to be really nice for guys who have run a Force before and really enjoyed the features that the Force has. You know, you've got your standard foot pedal, which is a little bit different, but looks basically, you know, looks essentially the same. And it works the same as the Force does. So if you're looking for that normal method of use, you know, using the foot pedal, you've got your button there. There's your anchor. So, you know, you're going to get the same exact features as far as that goes. The remote also has some really cool features right now. It's actually showing that I'm on anchor lock. And it even shows at a distance. So I'm one foot away from where I hit anchor lock. But we'll come off of that. And so now we've got the manual button here. So it's got basically a little compass with an M. If you hold that in, you can actually manipulate which direction your trolling motor is going to look just by pointing. It's almost like playing the Wii. Really cool feature Garmin has, so that's something neat. And then, you know, as always, you've got all your controls right here on the remote. So let's say we want to go straight forward, get that pointed forward, crank the speed up a little bit, and we go. Now I want to turn a little bit left, bring it over to the left. You want to turn a little bit right, take it over to the right, so on and so forth. Really cool operation, makes it really easy if you're kind of more of a, you want to just, you know, run it from the back of the boat or you're trolling or something like that. Really cool feature from Garmin. Right now we're just cruising along. We don't really have it cranked down and we're going 3.0 miles an hour. I'm going to brace myself a little bit. We're going to crank the speed up, see what we can do. 4.1, 4.2. 4.3. You can see the miles per hour is right there. This thing is absolutely scooting along. It's got a lot of speed in it. So it looks like as of right now we're about 4.5 miles an hour, and this is on a big Lund boat as well. So keep that in mind. Every boat's going to be a little bit different. Again, a standard feature of these type motors, but one that's extremely improved and really solid with the Force Kraken is your ability to spot lock or anchor lock. You know, if you come from the Minn Kota world, it's called spot lock. In the Garmin world, it's anchor. So we're going to do that right now. We are traveling at a speed of 2.2 miles an hour, and I'm going to hit the anchor button here. Let's see what happens. So at 2 miles an hour, at the very worst, we got 20 feet away from our target, and now it's going to work us right back in. 15, 10, closing it in. So that's really quick, guys. Within a matter of what, 15, 20 seconds, we've gone from going 2 miles an hour in one direction, hitting our anchor lock, and landing right back on that dot. And right now, we're only 5 feet away. So great performance out of the Force Kraken. Another cool feature when you run multiple Garmin units and the new Force Kraken is that you can connect your trolling motor so that your controls show at the top of your screen. So obviously you can use your remote like what a lot of people do, but if you don't want to do that, you can always just ditch the remote and then you've got full controls here. So I want to increase my speed a little bit, I'll crank it up, and then the direction that it's going, if I want to go, you'll notice now the boat's moving. So you can control all of that from here, right here at the helm. And so I'm going to turn my direction a little bit so let's straighten her out. There we go. Now we're going to take off in a straight line, but then all of a sudden, say I go over a pile of fish, slow down a little bit, and I decide, hey, I want to fish by those, so I'm going to hit this anchor lock mode, and then the boat's going to stop, and we're going to retreat to that spot. So, you know, imagine that if you're trolling, or, you know, if you're just kind of chilling, fishing off the side of the boat, and you're sitting here in your driver's seat, you've got full control right there on your unit. Another great feature. Into a category of its own is kind of how the whole design slides through, and that's typical. You've seen it in Tarova, you've seen it in Ulterra, you know, those type trolling motors, but this is Garmin's first time being involved in it. So I'm going to show you right now how to deploy and then turn around and stow your Force Kraken. So this button right here is your release. It's kind of more like a lever, I guess. You're going to press that down and you're going to start to slide this down, basically grab a hold of your trolling motor, get it down into that position. And at that point, you heard it click in. So then you just want to give it a second to kind of adjust itself and get set the way that it needs to be. There it goes. You saw it just move down into position. So now, crank the speed up, and you're moving. So then when you're done using it, or when you want to stow it, move to a new spot, it's similar. Basically, you're going to hit this lever. It'll position itself so that it's ready to come up. You're going to grab the trolling motor, start to bring it up like so, and then just slide it right back till it clicks into place just like that. You're ready to rock. Move on to your next spot, get on to some better fishing.